Welcome to the Creative Connections Podcast, connecting creatives and geeks all over the planet, one tiny podcast at a time, once a week. We are grateful to be sponsored by several software tools sold in our tech shop at creativeconnections.tech. Check it out today and see what new tools we have for your business or creativity. And now, here is your hostess of Creative Connections, putting hashtag art and apps on the map, Stacy Bryuga.
Oh, and she hits the wrong key. Oops. Now I have the right monitor. Hey, it's 31 Days Live. Hashtag 31 Days Live. It is my 6th day live in a row, which for me is 4 more in a row than I usually am. And this is also the debut of us being live on Twitch as well. So hopefully, if you're over on Twitch, follow me there at Stacy Bryuga. And I'm going to introduce my guest over here again. She's back with me for another week. I didn't run her off. You guys didn't run her off. We have Miss Kat Apidar with us. And I want to tell you a little bit more that I didn't get to introduce for last week. So when I first met, I was blessed to feel a connection with her right away. Partly because we both enjoy, getting silly and getting serious and getting spiritual and getting, I don't know. There was just this immediate, I like this chick. And because you also exude genuineness and no BS no matter where you're at. Now, here on camera, you and I are probably a little different than we are other places. But we're not that far different. It's pretty much what you see, be what you get, if you see me in public, this is what you're going to get. And I know that if Lindsay Badger's watching, she can attest to that same thing about me in live, real person. So,
I think the only thing for me is, you're watching me on a panel. Me on a panel is not as three-dimensionally big as, I'm just saying, the hair is
well, yeah, okay, there's dimension, there is different dimension going on, kinda, I guess. So, but I think being comfortable with who you are and being able to be who you are straight up all the time, whether you're on camera, whether you're on a stage, whether you're in a classroom, whether you're, no matter where you're at. Thank you, Mystery Creative Connections helper, for putting that link up. The link just dropped for Twitch, so that you can go watch us over there as well. And actually, all of the broadcasts are also on Twitch as a vodcast. So I've been playing with Twitch to see what it does, and see what might transpire being there as well. But I think being genuine is super important to being creative. What do you think?
I think at this stage in the game, the only thing I've half-assed mastered in my life is being me. So I'm gonna just rock it. I have to. It's the only thing I do halfway well. And I only say halfway because of my Petty LaBelle moment. And we all know about Petty. If you don't know about Petty, just, check out some of my live feed videos. Mm-hmm. The Petty is growing within me.
The Petty is, and mind you, she's saying Petty LaBelle, not Patty. And the Petty is occasionally strong. You know what? I channeled Petty yesterday on my live.
Beautiful moment.
It was gorgeous. She was complaining about the pool.
Oh, yes. Petty is a diva.
And late last night, she was pissed.
Everybody has their own inner Petty that, in my opinion, they should definitely channel at least once a week to stay balanced.
Balance is part of being human.
Yeah, and to be human, you're supposed to be humane, which means you have to see other
Correct.
people's petty moments for what they are. They're just petty moments. That doesn't mean that they're petty people. They just happen to be, people with a little bit of petty running through them.
That would
Some of us have a little more petty than others.
hashtag petty running through them. Ooh, I see hashtag pool diva.
See? But, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me embracing the whole divine feminine thing. Maybe it's just
Or the
me
whole.
good, because a lot of people are walking around here depressed, popping pills for joy, when in all actuality, a good primal scream would do them wonders.
Mhm.
Or, investing in some massagers of different sorts.
Yeah.
Just gonna leave it at that.
Any way that you can release tension and decrease stress, whether it's primal screaming or whether it's massage or they say exercise. I'd be damned if I don't understand that business. Mm-mm.
I mean, cheesecake and flautas and my life will be complete.
I mean,
Capotine for me.
Exercise, I don't mind the exercise, but I don't see exercise as pleasurable. It is not pleasurable.
All right.
The outcome is.
Wait, I've been through a gym rat phase. I get it.
How?
Endorphins. And honestly, there's something about that ache after a good workout that makes you feel just like, yeah, I'm accomplished. You can see the result.
Accomplished, I get.
Now, and 3 less chins.
I'd take 1 or 2 less chins. Yeah, I'd go with that. I'd take a couple less chins. You guys get to hear animals today, probably because, I think there's still a delivery or something to be had. So, I think that might be the mailman delivering said delivery right now. So, I have my 2 boys in the background and they're barked. And so, with being genuine, I don't know, this show's about creativity and technology. And sometimes we delve deep into one side or the other, and sometimes we go like all sorts of places into creativity, and creating self, like we talked about last week. I think last week was deep in the creating self territory, don't you think?
Yeah, or better yet, but yeah.
Well,
it's definitely yeah.
Like creating self by owning your own stuff. Because we talked a lot about owning our own stuff. And you can't create self or know self. Maybe it's more, as opposed to, you can't, here's another one. You can't create self unless you know self.
Love you, Sister Cuz, but I'm going to have to say we're already here.
Okay.
The creation part's been handled. Thanks, Ma. Thanks, Pop. It's just the self. See, for me personally, I'm here. Therefore, I am. But to recognize my inner self and to let it, shine, accept it, whatever, that's where a lot of people seem to fall short of, for fear of, and I still don't get this one to this day, the whole lonely versus alone thing, how people get that confused. There are so many people that are willing to compromise their true selves, their wants, their not just their egos, but their id, just all of themselves in the name of being with somebody else or not rocking the boat for fear of being alone. Never realizing that there is a difference between being alone and being lonely. So, I don't know. I'm in a weird mood today.
And you have to, I think it does come down to us learning ourselves, knowing ourselves. I'll give you the creation, and the fact that, creator, we are what we are. The we are part. I'll give you that. I probably have to use the word create in terms of, a non-spiritual sense, create meaning in that sense.
Out to
Us,
the rest of the world, that image.
Maybe the image, but also maybe just the knowing of the self. We feel like we are creating and recreating ourselves, even though really what we are is learning more about ourselves and incorporating that into sometimes accepting it, sometimes incorporating it. If you incorporate it or not, if you fight it, and thusly you haven't accepted who you really are.
Or if you've identified the issues at hand and never once addressed them.
But, well, that's what I mean, is you see what's there, and you see how you are, and you choose to accept who you are and how you are, and deal with it. But then there's the whole creating of, the creation does happen in our relationships with each other. And I think creativity itself best happens with collaboration between two or more people.
Yeah,
it can happen. It can happen from one person, and that doesn't mean actually there aren't other people, other entities, other people, other spirits collaborating for that creation. And I'm not saying you're not creating something on your own, because you might be. And also in the process of the creation, you also find more self-discovery.
Yeah.
So it's a circular journey, not a linear one. The journey of self is not linear, correct? Or would you agree? Not correct, but would you agree? Yeah.
It's not phallic shape. It's roughly feminine. Let's keep it real. Like a womb than it is, anything else. So, yeah. Leave it. I mean, but
we're nothing if we're not innuendous around here.
The entropy thing, where it's like we all notice stuff die. We start to finish ends, but then there's that brief moment of chaos where everything is like, whoa, and then it regroups again. And I think people forget that. It's like we get so caught up in the, oh no, I see the end is near moment that we don't plan for that circular restart. Sorry.
And no, it's like, woe is me, it's all over, it's horrible, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Because people are so quick to just be in the middle of their own drama instead of stepping back and going, what's the lesson in this? What part do I play in this, pardon the expression, cover kids' ears, fuckery? Because that's what it is.
And what do I need to learn from this effery?
Mm-hmm. Effery.
I just coined the new version. So we have an audience member that wants to know, are we getting readings this week? Are we getting to readings this week?
Why not?
So I would say that's a really good segue into, I'm going to let you take the stage on that, because that is absolutely out of my territory.
Well, I can't even see the members' statements, but that's what I do for a living, people. I do readings. I guess between this small audience and I use these cards here, but honestly, they're a prop. They're for people who are not used to people who have stepped far enough outside of the effery circle to be able to see what's going on with them clearly. And I get a lot of clients like that are just like, well, I don't think I want an intuitive reading, I don't want the devil poking around in my business. I'm like, okay. So I'm the devil. I'm cool with that. It's just, yeah. I don't mind laying cards for people. We can do quick yes or no's or a couple of simple 3 parts, but my 3 parts usually last a couple of hours, so we can try it. I've never done a short reading before. First time for everything.
So people would need to ask a yes or no question.
Yeah, I'm just not built. I mean,
Okay.
you've seen me in action, so you
Yeah.
know that yes or no is never, like, it's just
It's
never
never
that
just
finite
yes
for
or
me.
no.
It's like, it will start off as yes or no. I'm warning y'all now. It will start off that way, but it'll snowball. And Cat won't be Cat anymore, and all your business will be on this podcast, but I'm down with that, if you are. If you are brave enough, so am I.
So the question would be, is if there are people watching in the audience, and I'm waiting for comments, and right now I do not see.
Ryan, huh? Nothing but crickets?
I'm hearing crickets.
I'm cool with that.
I don't know that I want all of Stacy's business out in the world. So I'm not sure if I have the Get Your Brave on enough to ask for a reading in public.
Most people don't, especially after they've had one from me.
But maybe we could talk a little bit just about like either the whatever you're comfortable with, like of the process, or how long have you done this?
Hold on, I have to go into my southern veil.
So can I interrupt us? So that we have a question from the audience.
Oh no.
The audience, there is a audience member asking, will I have my own business in the future?
Trick question.
Did you say trick question?
Question. But hold on. Let's we're doing a yes or no. Why don't we use the pendulum? Where is my pendulum? Why didn't I know we were doing readings today?
I don't know.
How did I know we were doing readings today? Why am I not prepared for this?
My Feree.
Okay. So it's not me? You didn't tell me that we were going to be doing these?
I told you we were doing them last week. I didn't tell you we were doing them this week.
Okay. Not my fault, everybody.
We just didn't get to them last week.
I need to know how many times this person wants me to shuffle.
How many times would you like Cat to shuffle?
Don't take 5. I already know who you are.
This is, well, she asked for a yes or no question. Yes, she did. But how many times did shuffles? I know there's a little bit of a lag, so...
No, it's all good.
And apparently it's like really laggy on Twitch, but we'll see how that works out. That's just a test anyway. 6. I got a 6.
Having a big hair day. Anyway, we can go back to the original statement.
Well, I got a 6. I got a 6 for the shuffle.
Cool. So once again, my yes/nos are very rarely just yes/no answers.
See, and it's kind of cool here that like I can see the audience and you can't, unless you've got Facebook on and I don't know it.
Why? What happened?
No, I was just being honorary. No, maybe I should just shut my Feree up.
Might want to focus on one thing in particular first and foremost. Not trying to be funny, but there could be lots of different branches of one area, and it's still not a, what's the word I'm looking for? A boxed in kind of idea. Ooh. I'm gonna pray that these are just all reversed. There. Okay, good. I've got to cry. I'm not sure who asked the question,
Mm-hmm.
but business is the least of your concerns right now. Look, I mean, I probably wrong.
Says good O or bad O?
This is one of those O's where do you want me to read this or you want to hook up with me afterwards, because this is not reading business. I give you a real rundown though.
So this would be like get a private consultation with you
I mean, and
to
I
see what's
wouldn't
up.
charge or anything. I couldn't even call it. It's just we've got bougie, comfy chick, emotional message coming that seems like the world, but the truth of the matter is, it's just a big headache. So leave that there.
Okay. That'll probably be okay for now.
Yeah.
Oh no, the camera froze too, so that's another big headache. Um, apparently we froze, and yeah, I think we're okay now, but I'll make sure that the message, I'll make sure that even if it's not on the recording, that the person knows how to get a hold of you. Actually, anybody knows how to get a hold of Kat because that's in the show notes from last week, and it'll be in this week's too. And
this person has had an issue with theft of ideas too. I'm just gonna have to throw that out there. They really need to be a little more selective of their circle, I guess would be the best way to put it.
More selective of circle?
Yeah, because theft of ideas is a main thing. I mean, but either way it goes, no matter what this person does, and no matter how big or how well the stuff they do is instituted, it's never enough for them. Hence the trick question answer, because it's never, it's, did you ever read Shel Silverstein's Where the Sidewalk Ends? Almost perfect, but not the words of Old Miss Mary. It's one of the poems where it's like, no matter how great this person gets, it's still never enough. Hence the trick question. We constantly keep trading up ideas and formats, and it'll never be enough. Honestly, a great thing for ambition, not so much if you want a linear direct answer.
No, but it could be that you could be somehow getting stuck in perfection. Could that be right? Yeah. Could that be something where you can't move forward because you get stuck in perfection?
Happens to the best of us.
That's what I'm kind of asking for clarification myself. Just would that be another interpretation of the
It's like this person will get this close to mastery, like this close, but then it's like it's still not quite right. Starting over, like it's like premature birth of ideas everywhere.
That's me. Are you sure you're not reading me? Because I didn't. I know I didn't put the question in, but that does sound like me.
I'm just saying, whoever this person is has a tendency, unfortunately, to trust enough to have shared a lot of these ideas, and other people are going to capitalize on them. They have already shared, in particular, with one seemingly nice but very cutthroat male. And it was a swords card, so, you know, my brain no working this early.
It's too early for the brains to work.
But this isn't the first time that they're hearing about someone taking their idea and running with it either.
Okay.
And like they called people out on it, and people have been in denial. Evidently, they needed confirmation on that, because that's what's heavy on me right now. Is no, you're not tripping. Yes, it was your idea. Yes, somebody else did take it and run with it. Learn your lesson.
We have a hashtag for folks. Keep your mouth shut.
You know, what do they say? You never talk about what business, love, and what was it? Money when you're talking about stuff you're about to do. It's not money. It's something else. Or moves, major moves. Business betterment and your boo. You don't talk about those things.
Business betterment and boo?
Yeah, your boo. Because there's haters. And whether they consciously sabotage you or just, you know, in their whole jealousy, coveting type of state of mind sabotage you, you just don't throw that energy, that happy energy up for people to chop in half with their own negative stuff. Because misery does love company.
Yeah.
And like this person who is not miserable will very well be joining the ranks of misery if they keep sharing their joy. Sorry. I'm just not happy.
Anybody else out there? Who else is watching? I see there's at least a couple of people watching. Anybody else want to throw in a yes or no question to Miss Cat? Otherwise, we'll switch back to the Southern Belle.
We'd much rather go back to the Southern Belle because Reader Cat has a tendency to it was very hard for me to bite my tongue on that one because I wanted to get into the whole spiel of what first spell, what just hit you, because something just popped up.
Well, somebody else just said who's there, and it would be one of my Indian daughters, Jessica. So, hey, Jess Mesa. Actually, her name's Jessinator because the story goes is we were out at Indian camp, and there were 3 of us that were on the staff of the Indian Center that were working the camp that summer. Also, this is a week-long camp done by a local club, Rotary Club, but they let all of these kids who would normally not have a chance to see what a residential camp's like spend a week at camp. Jess, we are talking about readings today. My friend Kat is over here helping me out, and she does intuitive reading of cards. And so we're asking people if they want to have a yes or no question that she can answer.
Disclaimer.
And disclaimer. I'll let you do your disclaimer again.
Okay, so you can give me a yes or no question, and chances are I can give you a yes or no. It's just, it never ends with a just yes or no. I'm not built that way.
There's more to it.
I don't have my pendulum with me. Once again, not my fault. Didn't know I was doing the reading. But,
that's mine.
Not anybody under the bus or anything.
No,
Nope, not her.
That didn't hurt. That didn't hurt my shoulder. You know what? Again,
I'm just here.
But Jess, you think of a question. I'm going to tell Kat the rest of the story real quick. There was Jessica, Megan, and their besties, and myself, and they're both young enough to be my daughters, and so they were kind of like my work daughters. They're still like my daughters from. Even though we all don't work together anymore. And they started calling me the Stacinator.
I can see that.
And so then we decided that then it was the Meganator, the Jessinator, and the Stacinator. And then Megan had Miss Sadie. And Sadie had to, when she became of age enough, we decided to go ahead and give her a nator. And she's the Sadie-nator.
It's a lot of nators.
It's a lot of nators, but they dubbed it to me. They dubbed me the Stacinator. That's so. I would normally not take on a title like that, but from my girls, I'll give them a break. I'll give them a break.
I can see it though with the focus that you exhibit during some things. You just get really. What I'm doing. This is the tunnel vision at hand. This is all we have. John McCart. Yeah. So I could see that. You will have to catch us. I am the Stacinator. I demand it. Yeah, I could see that.
Oh, what kind of, I'm not really sure what kind of question I'm supposed to ask, but I'm curious how people react when they learn she wants to know how they react when they learn what you do for a living. Right?
Long story time, people.
But that's a good one. I think that's a good one.
No, it turns out it's easier to tell people that you're a prostitute than it is to tell them, I'm just keeping it real, that you're you're a psychic, you're a paid psychic, doing this for well over 3 decades, okay? been doing it forever and a day. And I mean, if Jehovah's Witnesses or anyone else comes at the door and they don't know me and they open the door, I am one of three things. I'm a heathen, because you have to understand my altars are like positioned all over my house openly because it's my house. So
Yeah.
I'm either a heathen, I am, what else? I've been called so
A
many
devil
different
worshiper,
things.
probably.
Oh yeah, well, yes. To which I say thank you. I mean, the belief system that I follow, that I was raised with, was demonized, after colonization took place. So I'm cool with being the devil worshiper, if that's how people want to look at it. I know my truth.
Right.
And being, fluffy, black, female, South, I've been called way worse than that. Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
Um,
You're
let's
already
see.
behind the
It's just, I found it just easier, especially when, like, okay, first date, for instance. If I'm on, like my first date I went on with we'll have to deal with the ex. It was easier to be like, okay, so yeah, this is what I do, but when, if we actually are out with other people, it's probably going to be easier for you to say, because you have to remember, I was raised in the Bible Belt.
right.
And here, it's Bible Belt-y. It really is. It's like the Bible, what am I looking for? Garter.
It's the garter belt.
It's the Garter Belt,
Says
Bible company.
so are you of a
World.
particular religion, or do people who or do people who do what you do belong to different religions? I'm very ignorant, but also just curious about what you do and why you do it, or if it's more like it, whether it chose you or you chose it. And I'm gonna guess, just for the effery of it, that you were born to this. It was not something that you choose. You came back to it for whatever reason. Your family, it's a culture, it's partly cultural, which I am guessing that Jess at least will understand how culture is that way. Is like, you don't, yeah, like I didn't choose to be white and Potawatomi. I didn't choose to grow up a white girl in the suburbs and then turn into whatever. Oh, and she says in PS she loves your hair. And you should see what she's the one who does my hair, is doing my next hairdo. So watch for the next hairdo. But how am I on that? That it's not that anything chose you, and you're, and I don't know if you would use the word religion or spirituality, because personally, I won't use the word religion. I use the word spirituality specifically.
Right. Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. In either way it goes, I wouldn't have had, and honestly, and a lot of people get the grr face at me when I say this, but I'm just going to go on and say it. Like, I don't really believe in the whole, like, free will thing to a certain extent. Like, you can choose what path you're going to take, but eventually, we're going to end up at the same spot. For me personally, I was, the wife of John Clayton, deacon at Bethesda Word Mouth Baptist Church. So, as a deaconess, who I can't even keep that one up. But long story short, I have turned my back on it. I was raised in it. I was just like, no, I want to be normal. I want to, you know what I'm saying? Because I got degrees and I have a normal job and I want to fit in with these little cubicle people, and and then I grew up, or I woke up, or I just owned me, and because it was either be a much less shiny version of myself, or just embrace the bright and shiny of me and not care if people could hold all of the sunlight. Oh well, it's sunlight. It ain't meant to be held. And that's kind of how it went for me. Because, you know, my mama was the neighborhood hoodoo lady. She was if someone had an issue with the man running off, they would come to her. If someone needed to know something about, you know, anything, they would go to her. So it's one of those things where I was raised with, and my dear too, like my moo and my dear both, like my grandmother and my mother, both. I mean, but then they had it mastered where they had mastered the whole appearing at church. They had this other persona that just, I watched Kill Them Slowly, and I refuse to let that bit of effery be a part of me anymore.
So they did what they did to fit in, so that they weren't.
And during their time period, it was necessary.
During their time period, and in the South, in the Bible Belt, being women and of the.
Keep it real.
And I didn't want to make the assumption of that. I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't know whether your grandma or mama. I wasn't for sure their entire lineage, and I never assume that until I know from somebody.
But even in minority communities, where this is the faith of our people, this is the faith that we were denied.
Right.
It's frowned upon. So,
the freedom of religion in a country where colonization took the religions of numerous people. The spiritualities. I don't like using the word religion, because religion means following the dogma of a group versus spirituality. My relationship with Creator is how I describe it, and it is mine. There is a string from here to there that is only from here to there. It has nothing to do with anyone else. It doesn't have rules placed on it by anyone else. It is potentially similar to other people's, to the point where I can translate and we can have a discussion about our relationships with Creator, or our spiritual beings. We can have humane, respectful discussions, whether it's a Christian, you can have a humane discussion with someone else.
Based spiritualities and faiths. You find that with that. It's not until you get these set in standards of dogma and rules and just, you know what I'm saying, dot your I's and cross your T's a certain way, or you're going to fire and brimstone, that you have the issue.
Well, and
now there are Christian people, and then there's Christian people.
Well, there's people who believe just the dogma and don't have their own relationship with their spirituality.
Because to be Christian means to be Christ-like. If you go through and read any text that involved him, that brother was a yogi. I don't care what anybody says. He's like, llama, 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 I'm floating. You know what I'm saying? Check me out as I'm going past on water. That's a yogi. Like, his whole belief system. And you go into a lot of the older Buddhist texts, he pops up there, and they're like, hey, this dude popped up, and he's pretty cool, so we're going to let him in on some of our beliefs. So, yeah. I don't know. There's a difference between Christians and then, Christians. I like Christians. It's Christians that could not knock on my door. Just keeping it real.
And you can tell somebody who has their personal attachment with their spiritual choices. No matter what spirituality they choose to follow and how they describe it.
And this is what I constantly ask people who come at me, I ask them, how does my truth negate yours?
I think that's the final answer.
They never have an answer with that one, and that's when they're like, yeah, bye-bye, bye, boo-boo, yeah. Bye-bye, boo-boo. Please try your call again later. I'm that chick.
Because
coming out.
If somebody who states to me that they're a Christian and they say your truth is perfectly fine to be your truth,
that's a real Christian. As far as I'm concerned, that's a real Christian. My Uncle Francois, real Jew. He was like, do you, boo-boo?
Yeah.
Because I mean, for me, it's like all of them are different paths
And-
to the divine truth. I don't care what path you take, because your walk does not hinder mine.
Yes.
You're not on my path.
As
So
long,
you're not
or should I say,
on my
as
path.
long as someone's path does not hinder another person's path.
Oh, yeah.
Because some people don't own their efferees, and they get in the way of other people's paths, or they try to harm other people's paths because they're scared of them, or for whatever reasons. Fear is one of them.
False evidence appearing real. But that's, again, not my fault, and it doesn't negate my truth.
No.
And unfortunately, there's been too many centuries of that. I mean, which is why, we're going through it now. You know how many Muslim friends, you know how I can't even leave the house with my head wrapped? You know how hard it is to make this stuff lay down halfway? Some days you just want to wrap it. But I can't leave my home with my head wrapped anymore because the Bible garter belt has deemed head wraps on people darker than a paper bag, but not quite black. We're demonized because they just assumptions, putting their ass before you and me, that I must be a Muslim. And
because you put cloth on your head.
I must help them and take away their freedoms. I still don't get that.
Yeah.
Woo. Woosa.
Well, I would be assumed to wear feathers, live in a teepee, and go to a sweat lodge naked with people, and smoke weed.
All of those things. I'm sorry. It's just, to me, it's like, the stereotypes, like I should have a bone through my nose and, continuously
You
carry
do have a
around
little something in your nose right here.
Huh?
You do have something in your nose right there. Oh, you got
I
something on both sides of your nose.
But still, there's no bone through it, and I don't communicate with my neighbors using a drum. And although that would be really cool,
Might be kind of fun.
So much my phone
plan. No, a phone call I've been waiting on for since last Thursday. They just called. I'm gonna have to call. I'll have to call them when I'm done. It's a business phone call, and it's not a big deal. I mean, it is a big deal, but it's not a big deal that I can't wait until after the show.
14,
because we're kind of rambly today anyway. Which
I'm a little out of sorts. My normal grounding and stuff I've done has been a little removed. So I'm not my usual.
Though I understand. Well, without going into some details, I'm curious. Are there any astrological or universe or any kinds of major things going on right now that would be affecting all of us? Kind of like when retrograde hits.
Yes,
is there anything going on like that right now?
But something fierce lately, and I don't know what's going on with that. But
is it something for all of us? There's something going on with all of us right now.
Well, first and foremost, I'm pretty sure, at least in this hemisphere, everybody's feeling that weird tension going on. Mm-hmm. That would be, we had 2 planets just go direct again after quite some time being retrograde. So
it's kind of like
once again, yeah, it kind of went from appearing to go backwards to hey, we're here, what's up? And like I said, Saturn's been up my butt. I know for a minute Mercury had popped in and out of retrograde, but they're back to normal, or allegedly it is. But every time it's retrograde, I'm normal, normal-ish. My verbiage is more direct, I'm more articulate, my words are more concise, but that's not me, if that makes sense. When it's back to direct, this is me you get, because it's in my house of communications. I would suggest everybody go get their natal charts done. You can go to, it's Astro Dienst, and I'll give you the link to
we can put the link down.
Get an interactive natal chart done because it breaks down a whole lot as far as how planets just affect you from the day of your birth on. Mm-hmm.
Because we're all everything is energy. And science is finally bringing to light the reality that many of our spiritualities have known for eons. And I think the fight right now against science is that very human-written dogma that may or may not be aligned with it. And so there's people that are scared of it. And so then there's this, then there's science that's figuring out real stuff, and old spiritualities that are still here, thankfully, knowing the same thing.
But what people fail to realize is that science itself has never said there was no ultimate creator.
True.
Science is, in fact, whether, scientists want to own it or not, although a lot of them do because there's no denying it, are stating that there is some sort of intelligent design. Like every bit of science is pointing towards, because once you quantify something like life, once you can figure out what makes our atoms just stick together, the Higgs boson and all of that stuff, while it does seem to demystify it, it doesn't negate the fact that, intelligent design means that, follow me, something more intelligent than us designed us. So they're not saying that there's no God. In fact, they're doing just the opposite. And I don't get why people get a bug up their butts.
I agree.
I don't.
I agree. I agree.
Although these are the same people that when the Dead Sea Scrolls were found, didn't bother to add them to their book of beliefs. So, hashtag only half truths allowed?
Hashtag just half of the book. I don't know. I don't know. And I don't want to appear negative myself towards someone who whose belief system is founded or grounded in any particular book. I don't care. It could be the book of no, I was going, it could be the book of Harry Potter. Whatever book, whatever book somebody has, it could be the freaking coloring book, okay? Kind of like, that's one thing I do admire of like AA and NA. They're any of the good groups that I've heard of, people are, is yours a cookbook?
Mine's a book of Schwan.
A book of Schwan. Oh, the book of Schwan. That's probably a good book to follow. Veggies.
Yeah.
Don't show that to me right now. I'm starving. I haven't had breakfast yet.
I am too.
Oh, Lindsay Badger says she recently had her natal chart done and lots of info. And I bet I know who did that. And that would be interesting, is to have Kat and Moonshadow on the show at the same time. Or on maybe not on the show, but maybe on a late night live. Maybe I'll see what Moonshadow says about that. I have an online friend who also does reading and such. And he's, I could imagine a very intense, interesting, cool show with the two of you. Just saying.
Yes, I see your gears spinning. Like, I'm just
my gears, and there I go into my mode. I'm like, okay, wrote that one on the notes. Because I have to keep notes on, otherwise the squirrels that all like start there, I can't focus on the squirrels all the time. That was hilarious. My camera was completely out of focus until I did this, and then it started focusing again. True. Your camera is like not focusing today at all. You're like going back and forth.
Yeah,
doing the thing.
I'm waking up though. Aren't you happy?
I am. Well, I have been really appreciate you coming back to hang out with me. I would love to have you hang out anytime. Are you doing the 31 days live?
been. I've been doing the 31 Days Live, and it's funny because I've taken on the 10 Commandments.
Oh,
And
have you been hashtagging it 31 Days Live when you do it? Oh, you guys go look for 31 Days Live on Cat's Lives because Cat's Lives like a 9 lives. Huh?
Yeah.
And
we've covered coveting and I am the Lord, just
yeah.
today I was going to do, I don't remember because that would involve me being prepared. I'm not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was going to cover another one today. But I had at least 10 days worth of those, and then I was going to do the affirmations of my aunt and call it a day. That would have covered my 31 days.
See, so you're planning your 31 Days Live. I'm doing mine randomly. Last night was a rant on algae in the pool. Today is the show. I'm counting the show as one of my 31 Days Live. Why not? I might do another one later today if I get a bug up my butt. Yeah. But I'm doing whatever comes to mind. Like, I wasn't sure what I was going to talk about yesterday, and right before I came inside to do it, I was in the backyard trying to fight algae in the pool and the chemicals, and I decided to come in and just primal scream about it, and guess what? I actually wasn't angry when I did it. I was just venting, and I felt better for a couple hours till somebody threw some ethical stuff my way, and then I had an issue then. I've been dealing with an ethical issue that I'm having to figure out what to do. But that's okay, because the truth, well, it's not anything per se that I've done, and it will be what it will be. It's not for me to judge. It's just for me to hold up my ethics. And that's it. 31 Days Live, Miss Jessinata, is a challenge that was put forth by some folks in the live streaming community to go live. So there's the 3 rules. You go live anywhere online. You can go live on Twitter, on Periscope, on Twitch, on Facebook, on whatever other live things there are, whatever. Hey, Miss Emily Hall. Oh my gosh. Another daughter's flying in from Colorado onto the board here. You go live for 5 minutes every day in July. You just hit the
5 minutes.
Hang on. You hit the little live button. I love and miss you too, Ems. You hit the go live button. You go live for at least 5 minutes on any topic of your choice, and you hashtag it. You put the hashtag in, hashtag 31 Days Live, 31 Days Live, and that way they can find it. And there's actually a private group that, there's a group that got started too on where some people are posting their lives over there, their videos. But really, it's just like you go on Twitter right now and look up 31 Days Live, and you'll find people who are doing that there. Go, Twitch, Periscope, here on Facebook. Trying to think where else there's a live video.
Instagram?
You can't do a 5-minute video.
Really?
No, you can. I don't think so. I don't know. You can't hashtag it. You can't You can't hashtag it there. That's why. So, do you find just because you can find, do you want to find Cat's videos, Jess, or are you wanting to find just the 31 Day Live videos? If you want Cat's videos, I can point you to those. Actually, just click on her. They're on her Facebook page. If you're wanting 31 Day Live ones, just look in the search bar and type in hashtag 31 Days Live, and you'll see everybody who's doing the 31 Day Live challenge. So for Katz, just click on her name. She'll
go to my video.
She'll pop some emojis in the chat here in a minute, and you'll be able to click on her. Yeah, okay. Lindsay corrected me. Instagram Live, you can. It's just not searchable. So you could do Instagram Live. You can also, you don't have to do a video. I found out you don't have to do a video. You can do Facebook audio live because you can do Facebook audios now. You don't have to do videos. So like, let's say you're not, don't got the makeups on and you don't want to like just show some random picture. Cause like sometimes I just go live and show a random screenshot and then I voice it. But, you can do just a Facebook audio live. And just as long as you throw the hashtag in so it's searchable so everybody can find you. And there's, I don't believe there are any prizes or any whatever to it. It's just a challenge that people have put forth and we're spreading the news. And it's to get it's to get you to not be tech disabled, Jess. It's so that you can just hit that button and go live. And if you mean tech disabled in finding Kat, I will suggest friend you and you can friend Kat and then you'll be able to find her. And Miss Emily, I so miss you too. I want to know, send me a message of when you're coming back, when you're visiting, so that I can see your gorgeous self. I love all my Indian daughters and whatever. They come and see me when nobody else is watching or nobody else has watched today that I know of. I don't care. It's my live and I'll do what I want to.
It's my life.
And I'll do what I want to. So you guys don't see us at the beginning and the end. Here when I get ready to, when I hit the end, Kat and I can still see each other. And we're gonna be sitting here dancing in the chairs over here in our private green room. I guess if you know where the green room is, you could come over here. And
it's not pretty.
Yeah.
Don't. I'm only dressed from like the shoulders up.
That's how you're supposed to do a live, isn't it? No pants. No pants live.
But a whole shirt, right? I don't even have that on.
Sometimes I don't. I have a t-shirt and shorts on today. I have my Wikiki OG shirt because I am a Wikiki OG.
I have like super wet hair, so it's like 50 pounds of unhappiness right now.
50 pounds of, well,
Ow, on my back.
Just maybe I'll let you know where the undisclosed location where the green room is, and you could come play with us and see what the green room fun is like. Because it is an undisclosed location. Disclosed only to guests and currently unlocked, so people who know where it is actually could pop in, which would be kind of funny. So why not? It's the party room. It's the party room. I have enjoyed having you, Kat, last week and this week. And
thanks again.
I love that we can delve into topics that are extremely serious but also laugh.
Yeah. I mean, it's not worth living if you can't laugh at it, right? Eventually you go back and you look at everything and you gotta go, what the,
Yeah. And I think the older you get, the easier that gets. Because like when you're 16, there's no way you can do that. Some people can.
Yeah. We took ourselves way too seriously at that age. We take ourselves way too seriously now. That's the problem with people.
There's a lot of people who still take themselves very seriously.
It's not that serious. It's not that.
I don't have enough. I don't want to give enough of my F's away for that.
Right? Mine aren't free. Like,
yours aren't free either. I thought you had free F's.
You're so caught up with like, why don't you care? Because it's not free. My F's are not free. I'm gonna charge you for an F. See, and now we go back to being a prostitute. Makes sense?
See,
I say stuff like that.
We've come full circle.
Full circle, not linear.
We have come full circle, folks. And I will see you next week. I don't know for sure who's going to be on the show with me yet?
I have an idea.
Kat's apparently going to tell me the idea after we get done in the green room. So you guys, thanks for coming by. Share it out. Come over and tell me what you want to do on the show and apply to be on the show, and we'll do all that. So I'm going to see if I can find out where my video went for the post show, because it's not coming up. Oh, there it is. Whoop, there it is. There. We'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for participating in our podcast today. You can find Stacy at Stacy Bayuka on any social media channels. Support us with your purchases in our tech shop, CRE number 8 TIVconnections.tech. Music courtesy of Enneagram Records, Scotty McBee, Upper Deck Studios, and Scott McBee. We appreciate their creativity, originality, and sponsorship of the show. Find the intro song Brooklyn and 59 in iTunes using the link in our show notes below. Our podcast website is CRE number 8 TIVconnections.com. Thank you from Creative Connections, bringing creatives and geeks together all over the planet, one tiny podcast at a time. If you are listening on your favorite podcast website, come by and check out our previous episodes on our websites. See you next week at 2 p.m. Central for the next Creative Connections.